Yo, gang. Yo, yo. Yeah, putting stuff on the auction house. That's an old school way of doing it, man. That's an old school way of trading gold. You used to be able to just send gold, but now because of all the hoopla and the Chinese gold farmers and all that stuff, which, by the way, the Chinese gold farmers were the same reason why they put in that WoW token, where you can buy game time, because that way Blizzard could control the amount of gold going in and out of the game. So you could sell it for real money, or you could buy it for real money, put it up on the auction house, then somebody buys it, you get, 200,000 gold. So it's a way they can control that gold flow, which is really weird, right? Like, very bizarre. But it works. Really like Fury Warrior. Oh, dude, in dungeons and raids, you're going to be the man. Fury Warrior is a ton of fun. Really good, too. Like, never really had a bad time in World of Warcraft. Like, Arms Warrior, I think, had a rough go of it for a while. But Fury was always a lot of fun. It did really good things. But I'm tempted to kind of re-roll like a Paladin or something. I think I have like a level 70 or 80 Paladin. I might start a character up, get it to level 10 in an hour or so, like, knock it out that way. But tonight we're doing something a little crazy, a little different. We're going to be painting, getting back into the painting thing, man. I got my tablet set up right here. Got that nice, beautiful, I think it's Huion? I don't even know how to, like, how in the world would you pronounce this? Like, how would you pronounce that? Because that's the company that makes it. A hell of a good deal, though. This thing was like $70, and it's the same size as one of the Wacom tablets that costs like $500. So it comes with a nice rechargeable pin that we're going to be using. I can actually unplug it and use it now. So Hyundai. So one of the things I love about Magic so far, I like playing it, and I like getting better. And any of the card games I really like playing right now, because it gets my mind in that certain strategy mindset, and it's a lot of fun to be there. But something that I just truly adore and I love about Magic the Gathering is the art. It's just unbelievable. Some of the best artists in the world get commissioned from Wizards of the Coast. And at my heart, like, basically 2004, when I went to college for the first time, my major was graphic design, and I had a minor in illustration. So I've always had, I grew up drawing. A lot of you may already know this, because I went through kind of a drawing phase that lasted a little bit before I quit Twitch for a few years. I kind of went kind of heavy into the drawing and the art type stuff, made a few things for DeviantArt, tried to get a portfolio back up, and then just kind of washed out. My mind was all over the place. But now I feel like I can actually dedicate some more time to it. This could be a way we can all chill out together, just hang out and chat and have fun. And you can see me struggle about getting better at art. I used to be pretty good, then I've been so far out of the game, I might not be very good anymore. But we're going to get back to where we were. In fact, let me show you some of this stuff. Bought these things years ago. Fantasy card artist. So it has the Hearthstone art right here. Dynamic characters, all that fun stuff. So, like, I mean, you're talking about, like, old school art style tutorials. I have probably 20 or 30 of these. In fact, let me kick over to the webcam only. Bam. Ton of these. And, like, they have, like, step-by-step stuff, like, really cool tutorials. But yeah, just like, these people are out of their mind good. You know what I mean? Just awesome tutorial type deals. I even have a more traditional, I have like, 30 or 40 of these. But like, even more traditional digital painting and digital art. I could probably do a YouTube video just on these, kind of showing, how to do certain techniques and certain brush styles and just fun stuff. Digital painting techniques, man. That's what it's about. Fundamentals, really. So fundamentals is what it's about. But that's what we're going to do today. We are going to be taking a look at this right here. So it's the Shadowborn Apostle. So Lucas Graciano is the artist. So giving credit where it's due. This is not an original painting I'm going to make up. This isn't some big thing I have in my mind. We are copying a painting. And that's fine to do. But you gotta be upfront about who the artist is. Like, it is fine to study. Like, people study the masters all the time. Frank Frazetta, you know, you got Boris Vallejo, you got all these old school cats, right? And yeah, Mark Poole, like Crunch mentioned, you got some amazing Wizards artists, but then you have amazing traditional artists. So part of art school is copy the masters. Try to make the Mona Lisa. It's not easy. Like, those are your assignments. So that's what we're going to start doing. I'm going to find the kind of cards and the kind of wizard art that I really like. And we're going to try to emulate it, because that's a good way to kind of degrease the wheels, as it were. But Shadowborn Apostle, so this is really low resolution. We're going to zoom in. This is really low resolution. As you can see, it starts blurring out and it doesn't look as good, and it's kind of wonky because this came from the official Magic site. I just wanted to show it with the credit of Lucas Graciano there. But the Command Zone, they're a Magic the Gathering, they focus on Commander. They actually have a whole episode dedicated to the Shadowborn Apostle, and they have a way higher, let me actually hit screen. It's episode 48 from them. So I got the thumbnail, and this is a way better, way higher resolution image of the painting. Like, you can see the strokes a little bit. It just looks better. And then what we're going to do is we are going to try to paint this. Not in one sitting. This could probably be three or four streams. But I'm going to talk about the process all the way through. It's going to we're going to get the rust off. We're going to dust it off. We're going to get better by studying these commissioned artists that are the best in the world, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to study on, is go back to the fundamentals. There might be even sometimes that all we do is draw boxes and spheres and shade them. It won't be the most exciting stuff in the world, but it's going to be I have sketchbooks that I'm going to be doing that in throughout the weeks, just trying to get myself back into shape. But to talk about this one in particular, the reason why I like this piece of art, it has a very oil painty feel to it. You can see the actual brush strokes. It has that certain gouache sort of look. You can see kind of where it blends in right here. You can see where it tapers off. Has very paintbrush, oil paint-esque vibe about how all these, and especially over here, look at this. That's great. That's great. That's the stuff you want. Mwah. Beautiful. But that's what it's about, right? To get that painterly feel. That's my goal. I love the painterly feel of digital paint, which is ironic. We're using technology to emulate actual oils, but it's more fun to control. I'm more comfortable with Photoshop than I am with actual brushes and a canvas. So this will be fun. So the thing is, to start with it, we get to simplify this. We get to take out all the bells and whistles. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to, and I already did a little pre before, so we're going to get rid of the little Command Zone logo, of course. So we're going to come over here like that. But what we're going to do is get rid of the color. I already made a screen, a black and white mask over it. So once you activate that, it makes it grayscale. The reason why that's important, if you can read what this is in black and white, you make a layer on top of it with a certain overlay, like a screen or overlay or even burn, highlight, something like that, a different mode. Then you go in and just paint color over on a separate layer, and you get this type of thing, right? So it has to be a good painting in black and white first, because that's where your value and your dimensions and all that fun stuff. Let's paint that smokestack. That's right. Newspaper comics was kind of fun making. Yeah, see? And it's all about kind of getting in there and learning that type of stuff. So what we're going to do, I may be trying to figure out the best way to do the work on this. So we're actually going to make it 1920 by 1080, so wallpaper side. Move that over here. Boop. And instead of like going back and forth, I'm thinking about using my second monitor. Like really using my second monitor, you know? So that's what we might do. We might keep this right here. Like that. I could even open up my new laptop, which that's a whole different story. I might make a YouTube video on it. It's hilarious. Basically, I got a free laptop. It is what it is, right? Let's see. So that might not actually work. Let's put it right there, because I want to be able to see chat. But we can do. Yeah, work's gonna be brutal this week. For sure. So let's see. So first what we got to do, let's just do some painterly strokes, right? That old Bob Ross style. Let's just get in there and make some happy accident. So I kind of already know the palette because all it is grayscale essentially. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this up. And we're just going to stay on this level right here. That hue. So, I think if we start with our midtones, right, and actually just come in here. This. This. Over here. See, the nice thing about this pen is you can actually do pressure sensitivity on it, right? Actually, what we could do is just go File. Edit, Fill, Use, Perfect. And we're going to come down here. This is where we start having a look. So, in the original, it looks like kind of the middle right here is lighter gray, and then once you start getting here, it starts doing almost like a vignette style, like darker around the edges, and then kind of clouds coming in into the paint strips. So we can essentially, yeah. Because like, let me actually use my mouse, put a black and white mask on this one too. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like in the middle, it stays kind of light. And then around the edges, it gets a little darker. So, with that being said, kick it up here. That'll be the lightest we get for right now. Chalky a little bit, but that's fine. Get that going. The nice thing about, you know, Photoshop with the brushes is it has that kind of built-in texture for it. So like that. See, and then you can start like kind of bringing it out a little bit. The pressure sensitivity is going to be the thing that I have to get more used to. But see, I like how it does that stuff. Let me zoom in real quick. How it kind of tapers off. Oh god, not that much. Jeez. See how it kind of like tapers itself? There we go. Like, that's going to be critical, I think, using that type of stuff to really start building up the foundation. Yeah, and part of the challenge, I think, is getting it to where, let's see, you got that, you got this. And I know there's kind of like a horizon one, right? Yeah, there's one that kind of goes across like that. So if it's a kind of a something like that. And then if we get that color, make it slightly darker. Like that across the side. Let's get a more textured brush. Multiple strokes. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think it's to get the color range down there first, you know, because this is more like an airbrush that has a slight texture to it. Kind of through there, and then I know it gets kind of darker on there.
Everything changes.
Maybe what I could do. Here's what I could do. Let me get a little guy right here. Move him to this screen. There we go. That way I can still see chat. I can still see all kinds of fun stuff. But I still kind of have a live look at it. So this
life.
Yeah, so it gets like cloudy around so it gets like cloudy around here. And darker up here, like that. Like real dark up there. But see, I don't want to use my blacks. I want to use that on the figure. Something like this to kind of start blending that stuff a little bit. I mean, if you look at it, yeah, it's kind of dark, kind of these patches, and then it looks like it, like wet paint, like just blends into that middle.
Life.
Just build the value out. And I bet. Yo, Marco. So yeah, we're doing a kind of an emulation of this Lucas Graciano Magic the Gathering card art. Final thing has all this color in it right now, but basically we're black and white it, and then come in here infringing on copyrights. Oh my god. So we're gonna get that again. Yeah. Opacity, like Frank said, is at 100 still. So I think we're just gonna try to. Well, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I like that for the show off. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that a little bit. We're gonna lower that opacity a little. So a lot of this is just loose and messy, which is kind of how it should be. I mean, the focus is going to be on the figure, of course. Let's see, it looks like the big, thick, broad strokes will come in. Do those. little bit. Oh man, Spacey with that host, the man himself. Hope you are doing well, Spacey. We are Bob Rossing it up, brother. So, see, it almost looks like in the original, some of these bigger strokes, it's almost like fire, like flamey, you know? Like, if that was all colored like orange and red and yellow, that would basically just be a giant fire in the background. But they have it to be that sky, you know. Yeah, welcome, Spacey. Have fun. Tell me how Total War is. 'Cause that first one I was really bad at, but... Okay. Sometimes you just need a mouse to do it. Yeah, Total Warhammer 1, I liked. I just was not very good at it. So, bring that in first. Yeah, see, we know. This over here. See, this is actually way lighter. I went too heavy on some of the darks, but that's fine because, let's see, if this is right here, and this is right here, these are like right here. Right here. Bigger. Yeah. Those are like chocolate. I need more like water. There you go. Like a big block brush. There we go. There we go. We're going to try to meet it in the middle a little bit. Then... that again. And that opacity down even more. Just keep like layering it up, you know. So, here, let me do this as well. There we go. That should be better on the sound. Let me know if it's not, though, for sure. Okay, so we have kind of the blotchy sort of stuff right there. This is fine. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Won't that be able... Now we'll just start doing random circles. Try to get some of that cloud level stuff on there, you know? Instead of doing like diagonal lines, it could be more... There we go. something going on like this. Then we can maybe darken it up a little bit. Smoke it out a little. Let's see, it looks like they have a lot of good kind of the gradient almost on the back, and then they just went over with a really thick brush and just did like bloop bloop, like 100% flow and opacity. You know, just hit it a few times with that, and then look pretty good. Let's do this. Let's change the brush a little bit. Right here, maybe. Yeah, we're starting to get there, I think. Put a speckle in there. That looks good. Things are going well, man. Well, things are going well with you, Spacey. Got this. See, so it's sort of like, yeah, now some of these are like, let me get that one, like, that sort of fiery, like, wave to it, you know? And if we just kick it back over here, butternut squash soup. Hate the taste of squash because they're putting in so many things in the soup. See, that's the thing. The secret to good cooking, in my opinion, is like let the ingredient do its thing. Instead of like putting all the spices and, you know, I'm a big fan of salt and pepper, of course, to season. But like, if you put so many spices in there, then you're not really eating the thing. You're eating the spices, you know? And then the thing is texture. You gotta just, a little goes a long way when it comes to like spice and that type of deal. Maybe let me crank that up. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Something like that. There we got it. Like these random lines. And this seems like a whole lot of work just for this back area. But I think this back area kind of sets the mood for the whole thing, you know? And if we come over here, do that. Or the size a little bit. And remember, we don't have pure white anywhere on this. We're going to save the pure white for some of the highlights. I think that'll be the thing that really caps it all off, is whenever you get the pitch blacks in there and the bright, bright whites like on the side of the face. I think that'll be what does it. Yeah, it looks like our mid-range is about right, but bringing this down kind of play with that. Okay. Something like that. Just to here. And I have another paint piece of software called Clip Studio, which is also called like Manga Studio or something. And it does traditional like oil and pastel and watercolor. It does that type of stuff really well. But I was kind of, oh, there we go. That's a good looking brush. That's kind of what we wanted. Which that piece of software does way better at the traditional stuff, but I kind of want to get good at doing that on Photoshop here, you know, to make it at least look somewhat. So yeah, looks like just really, now if we start getting into like the cloud type stuff, kind of make clouds out of what we have. That should work a little bit. If we come over here and try this. Here, let me do a soft brush. Here, maybe yeah, this will be good. I think this will start doing it. So, how do we want to get those kind of like down and slanted a little bit? Do this. Float 100. There we go. Wonder if we do the float down. There we go. Like kind of blur it a little bit. Lighten. Maybe the flow should be up. The opacity slightly down. Do a little bit of this. Step. Wonder if they actually have a cloud brush in this brush set. I have way too many brush sets. Like way too many. What is this? Oh, hey, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, see, now that's a good paint. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Look at that magic happen. That looks like a freaking paintbrush right there. Now we're cruising. Kind of render those out a little bit. And It's a little bit lighter than what that is. So like, there we go. Yeah, see, now it's starting to look like actual... Jack! Oh my! How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. It's very good to see you. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get a little darker. Where was it at? Up here? Oh, but the like very corner. Oh, that's like darker though. Oh, and see, that seems to be playing okay with the top too. Good to be seen, yeah. So we're trying our hand back at painting. We haven't painted in a day or two, and by a day or two, I mean a year or two. And it's kind of chilling out, kind of going through the process again. We're emulating a really cool Magic the Gathering card called Shadowborn Apostle. Here's the actual art for it. We have it on a black and white layer. The traditional looks like this. It has color and all that stuff. But right now, we're just working in black and white. We're trying to nail down that kind of painterly... Get down some of that stuff. I think we're getting there. I think this brush that we got right now is working pretty well. But it's important to keep it in black and white just to get the values right. Because you can always go over and... painting by Joey. Joey Wheeler. Yeah, numbskull. Like what all goofy stuff does Joey Wheeler say? God, we went off on a freaking tangent, didn't we, on the podcast? Okay, oh, so it looks like that kind of flows into the middle. So that comes down and this comes up. So we need to do some of that. So that's not really the right angle for this. It's more of a... Or actually, I wonder if I could split the difference. What's the difference between these two? About right here? Let me try something. Let's experiment. Let's happy trees this a little bit. So if this was coming down this way and this was coming up this way, probably not exactly the thing, but if we come back over it again, like with the color, like this, like that, and then over here, we kind of do the same that way. See, like, well... But this part actually looks like it comes up a little bit. Comes up a little bit. That. Something like that. Right? Yeah. A little muddy. That's fine. And of course, we'll go over and do this again with a different size brush like this to kind of... Galoshes over here. Hey, what are you going to do, right? Huh? Joey Wheeler, man. That's where it's at. Freaking Joey Wheeler. What a hero. Get that. I want to say, what angle is that? So it kind of comes down almost like that, actually. So like get rid of that one. There we go. Yeah, and then this sort of sculpts through those. Let's see. Something that has always kind of got me as a digital artist, or really just an artist in general, is my all of my stuff looks okay, but it lacks a lot of super like vivid depth. So I'm hoping working the way that we're working right now, where we're actually doing the black and white first, try to nail that down a little better, might help with that. So let me actually lower this brush now. I can start like texturing almost. You know, like kind of getting in there and just making random whoopsies, you know. This probably won't look exactly like the painting, but I don't think that's the point, right? I think the point is like get the mood. Like, I'm a big fan in paintings of mood, even if it doesn't look quite right, which sounds weird. Of course I want your painting to look right, like from a traditional perspective and like all that stuff. You want that stuff to be right, or else people are gonna be like, yeah, I guess it's cool, but there's something off about it. Like, people may not necessarily know what's wrong, but they'll know something's wrong. That's just like anything. You don't have to be a chef to know if food is good or not, like, or if you like the taste of it. It's just, it's the type of thing. You'll know something's up, but you can't quite put a finger on it. And that's kind of what I'm hoping with. Get this going a little bit. With this, I'm hoping it'll be more of a, we can kind of see what's going on because we simplified it as much as possible. We'll give some depth to the kind of a white-esque deal. It's not pure white. It's real close. It's not... Actually, it might be a little too close for comfort. Let me come back over here. Because like I said, I want to save the pure white for like highlights. Just very small bits of it, you know. Might actually even do. Looks like that needs to come down a little bit. I wonder if I can do this. Maybe get a little bit of this right here. And then get more of a, so which one was that? That was, okay, so it was that was the brush, right? Yeah. Back top corner. All right. We got that. We'll get a little bit darker. There we go. And then it looks like there's a faint little bit of texture in the middle there instead of just all the one thing. So let's do this and even bring that up a little bit more. Oh. That. There. Maybe. We go. So something like that, right? You can tell these are the professionals though, because they have so much more control over their, like, making stuff looking like clouds. And I mean, we could use like a cloud brush, but I feel like I want to get the technique down more than, you know. Let's try a softer, let's see, this one. Is that like a cloud brush? A little bit? A little bit? Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah, like that one's a little bit. That. Then we got that. See, because yeah, it's not like quite, not quite a cloud, is it? It's like it's rendered. It's here we go, a little bit. That's looking pretty okay. It's like one of those you have to like frame it like, how's this going? It's really that texture of the brush right there that I just love, man. I just love how... Let me get this back in here. Let me find me... Where was that one again? It was like one of these maybe, you know? Well, sort of. That was a little cloudy, but that looks kind of cool. Like, I like that, actually. Almost like a watercolor thing, you know? Actually, maybe that might be really good for this. And like kind of coming around the side here. And like through there. And a slightly different deal for it. So that's kind of a... I know there's no real like magic in this, but this is sort of just what it's like to paint. Even in like art school, this is all it is you just spend a little bit of time like, this looks maybe okay. Now this maybe looks okay. And then you just do that for 20 hours and you have something at the end of it and you're like, all right. like there is definitely a method to the madness, as it were. See, that's the thing. Do I want... do this. We'll go back to... change the size a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. We got a little bit of this right here. We'll do some cloud it a little bit here. Boom. There we go. That's sort of what we're going after. And we want it to be a little bit darker. That, and then okay, then we're gonna get that brush back. That one. Lower it quite a bit. There we go. All right. Mm-hmm. And then cloud it out a little bit again. Yeah. So something like that, starting to get interesting. Feel like I need to do more like on that side. Doesn't quite have that full curviness to it. Curviness. Like over here. Up here was actually a little bit more cloudy than, yeah. Need some of them curves. Damn curves. Alright. So okay. Got all this. What this does. Get some of it. This right here. That's a weird texture. Whoa, look at that one. Well, that's a pretty good one for sort of a non-focus, blur the side type. Yeah, look at that one. Like, do a little bit. that? Yeah, something like. Mm, the opacity, size a little bit. Hmm. Let's see. So I'm wondering if we want to start putting down kind of this foreground character on a new layer. And then kind of come back and sculpt this background more whenever we have the character on it. That way we could like play into it. Because it looks like some of the wavy things from the characters, like the hair, for instance, and like the robe, kind of play into the whole fiery, wavy atmosphere. Same thing for the, yeah, we could probably do this kind of second layer as being the background, sort of, you know. Because it looks like that's kind of what it plays off of. It's like the fire, the flame. Let me even turn the, you know, there's the flames. But it looks like those same strokes are for... But this is like super Frank Frazetta. This whole like style of painting that background and kind of the oily, splotchy. Like, let me actually bring up a Frank Frazetta. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of that does this like extraordinarily well. I think it's the one of the horses of the apocalypse type stuff, or like, let's see, like yeah, the death dealers and the destroyers. So like that type of stuff. That's crazy. This dude was doing this back in like the 50s and 60s. He was so ahead of his time. This is ridiculous. Like, look at this. Like, look at that. That's just bonkers. But yeah, like you can see kind of this cloud stuff right here. Kind of how it builds on itself. It's very, very similar to this. Like, very similar, you know. Ugh, but that's hard to do. That shit is not easy. As you can clearly see, we've been going for about an hour. Well, we've been painting for over 30 minutes, but not easy. Yeah, I probably got another half hour or so in today's stream. It's just weird. It's like trying to get that painterly look is real tricky. Because, like, look at that. That's just nuts to me. Yeah, just on clouds. Just on clouds. Like, and it blurs it a little bit, but you can see the individual paint strokes. Like, bloop, bloop, bloop. And that's what I'm going for. And right now, we definitely don't have it. We don't got it. It's fine though. Like, But yeah, and like up here, like let me up here. That looks great. But that's why I wanted to get started with this one, because this is, you may think, oh, it's a figure and you kind of paint a background and it's a little muddy, but there's a lot that goes into it, which is just a testament to how freaking amazing these artists are. And you also have to keep in mind, like, I know I can be hard on myself, but something I have to remember, this person literally has their art on a Magic the Gathering card. This exact piece. Like, genuinely. Like, look. Here it is. Like, that's the card. They won. They got their art on the card type thing. Like, you know, normally these commissioned artists do so much of this. They probably do 200, 300, 400 paintings for Wizards a year. So they're just working on such an insane level that I am clearly not. So we're doing the cheap budget garden variety version. Like we are the Dollar Tree version of a well, yeah, a little of both really. It's more of like, it's a skill that I had. And you know, we really talked quite a bit actually, you know, on the podcast and all that stuff. It's like really kind of the secret to success is kind of embracing what you bring to the table that maybe not everyone else can. And like, perfect example, Marco, is your training videos. Those are amazing. Like, I love watching those because no one else in the Hobo Network's doing martial arts training right now. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's definitely something that you bring that no one else really has. And I was like, well, what's a skill that I can do that, you know, isn't talked about a lot on like the Hobo Network type stuff? And I was like, well, I can get back into painting. I have all the stuff for it. All I have to do is just get over myself and like do it. Right? I think we might, by the side note, I think we might be onto something here. Just doing these little tiny like ridges and stuff. We might have something. As far as like that painterly quality. So I'm gonna keep doing this and see what the hell happens. But yeah, it's more of the, I would love to get good enough, you know, to be able to do that type of thing. Especially like, oh my god, if I could ever get a piece of art on like a video game concept art thing or something, like that would be nuts to me. Just unbelievably nuts. I mean, it's going to be years, like genuinely years, to get to a level to where they would want that type of deal, or that I had the ability that they really saw, you know, that they would be like, yes, I want that on my product. It's a different mindset. Yeah, like time-lapse art videos. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I was thinking about doing something like that and not even having maybe have narration on it, but like narrate it after it's time-lapsed and just talk about different parts of like, oh, here's where I struggled with this and here's where this was, and you know, here's some of that actually. Let's keep this going. Let's see what we got. See, now I think we're starting to get somewhere. Like, let me actually go here. Let me fill the screen. That way we get more of a... You guys look at this upper corner right here. Kind of what I'm going on. Starting to... Alright. You know what? Sure. You know, there's more nuance I have to do to it. Particularly like to come over here and you know, like do some those coming down a little bit. We can do a little bit of that, like Got that. Brought that up a little bit. Up. Yeah, so we're getting there. Like it's just about like rendering it, you know? Just kind of getting it. Of course, theirs has beautiful, like subtle painterly strokes, and mine are definitely not that. But that's at least it's starting to like start kind of rendering it out a little bit, you know? So we got this. Might be a little overkill on that other part, but it's kind of okay. We do a little bit of this. Searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me. My enemies have tried every possibility. Ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. Cause I can fly. Cloud it out a little bit. So then we'll do this kind of lower area right here. Shirt shop yesterday, just one design, but three. Oh, heck yeah, dude. I'm excited to see them. Like, I am definitely excited to. Go. So then. Wait, does that go darker? Yeah, that goes quite a bit darker, I think. So if we get that, and then just kind of mold this out. Let's actually kick this over. Cloud it a little bit. Look into my eyes. My heart beats like a drum. You listen to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light. Heck yeah. Me does look a little too... And the lower part looks a little too, there we go. We need that. There we go. Kind of the more painterly, diffused look. And we'll come back around. Like that. Freaking Photoshop user's guide coming up. Ridiculous. I know how to use Photoshop. You asses. Alright. Do that. Yeah, so that's pretty good. A more cloudy sort of kind of dreamy sort of look to the... I'll even view these up. Smooth them out a little. Change a little bit of that texture. There we go. That's starting to look a little painterly up there. And then this looks a little different. It's kind of cloudy. Them t-shirt sales, man. That's what it's about, dude. So we got this. So, try some of this. See, I think one of my main things is I just have a lot of brushes that are the same size. Like, I use the same size brush for a long time, so everything starts to look a little muddy. So what I should do is like different depths of size and shapes and kind of mix it up a little, just to... So. Then oh yeah, man, I think a new logo would be slick for you, Vamp. That'd be cool. Get you something that you can brand. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I actually branded all my YouTube videos. If you go and watch them, it has the little thing, the little mark in the corner. It just says Kami. Little watermark there. So got this. Actually, that needs to be up quite a bit. There we go. Here we go. Okay. I think, and then where was that brush that I had? I kind of like the look. Am I covered? Is that it? Yes. Okay. So Yeah, babe, that was a really good unboxing, man. I really dug that video. Here we go. We got this. So sorry if it's not the most engaging stream. I'm just trying to get this thing like figured out. It's almost like solving a puzzle. It's like, how did they get, you know, that look? And I think it's just layer after layer after layer. You know, like that's genuinely what I think. And then if we went in here and went like, boom, hit it with a few of those. That, and then like, hit it from this other angle. Okay. All right, so that's looking more like a painting instead of just a bunch of random circle strokes. Like this side's looking okay. I like how the kind of that brush texture works. Now let's get this other side. Brought it way down there. Yeah. Yeah, oh, there's a huge market now for deck tech stuff. What is that? Simply Better MTG? That guy, like, made his whole livelihood off deck tech. You know, there's a big audience for it. Alright, yeah, I'm starting to feel better with how this is coming along. It's like, just give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of elbow grease. And it'll start kind of taking a shape. You know. And see, kind of darken that a little bit so you can still kind of see the brush strokes, but not really, you know. And then what I gotta do, right here, I'm gonna blend that all in so you don't see kind of those angled strokes as much. That's the thing, a lot of the brushes that I like have diagonal strokes. So, sort of need to mask some of those a little bit. But this, let's see. Yeah, I need to kind of come in here and do maybe this, and maybe go boom, and maybe hit it with a little bit of that right there. There we go. All right, something like that. So like with this. See, and it's almost like a brown-green sort of hue to it. So just for fun, well, first I better actually save this. Desktop. KamiArt 1. Yes. So what you end up doing, do this and then name this like color. Just do a color layer. Have it be, see, what would it be? Overlay? Either overlay or like soft light. And then you come and you pick a, let's pick out, yeah, kind of like a brownish color, or like this color a little bit. Then on this, you just come back over, let's see, what part of it was, let me click this real quick. Okay. So like, if I remember how to do this right, this was one of the hot tips that they gave me in in art school, and it freaking worked like a charm. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Something like this. Oh. Yeah, see? So then you color over black like that, or like see? And it gives it that sense of color, which is really cool. Like, it automatically makes it look different. You know what I mean? And then let's do this, and then if you bring a little bit more like that color, you start getting into the, that's a little bit too much, but you can kind of see it. You know what I mean? Like, you can see that like really starting to take shape. And then if you come back to the original, see, like, that's a cool gimmick to get that to work. Because if your values are good, if your black and white is good, you can just come over and wash color on top of it, and it makes it look like $1,000,000. Yeah, like, you can change the mood of something. Like, instead of having browns and reds and stuff, we could turn it all like weird purples, and it would be like a weird nighttime seance thing. So like, that's what that is, you know. That's what that is. But like, it's hilarious how much that changes. And see, even in my opinion, even the other, if you just put color on some of the deals and not on the others, and there's like the blue and the yellow and the brown, and it all kind of mixes together, you know, it just makes it look really, really good. But that's why, if you want to know why we're spending so freaking long on the clouds, It's because once we add that splash of color to it, it just knocks it out of the park. See, that type of stuff's exciting because it still works. The little tricks, they still work, which is awesome. So, but yeah, I think that's a good spot to kind of end it, at least for today. See, we got background. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So probably next time we do a painting stream, we're gonna work on this stuff. Not quite the figure, not yet. That's gonna be the last main part because that's gonna take us the longest by far. It's gonna be the secondary stuff. So these pillars right here where the flame is, I'll show it the color. The flame right here, we're gonna work with kind of in the back how there's like the fire, I guess, in the background, because a ritual is happening, and kind of this structure, maybe even the figures, you know. But like, yeah, some really cool stuff. And then you can also see, because what I used to get really hung up on was the color. I would see things in color and then try to get the colors right. But like if your form isn't right, none of it's right. Like these little hints of blue right here, you know, little purples on the side, on the brown, on the red. And of course you have the yellows and skin tone and all that. But whenever you simplify it all and you just make it all black and white, it makes the process more about seeing it for value rather than seeing it for color. What's up, Petromius? But yeah, like, I'm so happy this freaking soft light cover overlay. Let me check overlay real quick. Yeah, overlay's a little more vibrant, which could be helpful. It can definitely be helpful. But like, I think that soft light gives it that kind of old school painter quality. And then, you know, of course, there's like lighting, which just does, there's crazy stuff. Like you can screen, just really weird, like hard light. You could really tell what it is, right? But whenever you have like soft light, it just adds enough. Just makes that pop out a little bit. But yeah, we'll keep it black and white for majority of the painting. Then we'll go back at the very end, put those colors on there, and that whole thing is gonna pop, man. But yeah, so overall, not a bad start, really. Like, I haven't painted in so long, and it is what it is, and I'm rusty, and it took us a little too long to get what we have right now, which is basically just a messy looking background. But it's kind of learning the flow again, learning, you know, what brushes work well, doing what. It's all part of the learning process. And I do feel comfortable with where we're at. You know, we painted for about an hour. Got ourselves a background. But the background has some dimension to it, you know. And if we're looking at the piece right here, we're trying to get clouds and stuff. You know, it's a little different, but that's fine. I think that's part of it. That's what gives it character, right? But the real McCoy is going to be really locking down the kind of structures right here and then the figure. And then at the end, you do that splash of color. Really bring it alive. So we have that right now. And then our little splash of color. Not much, but it's just amazing to me what... Because, you know, you see the value, like, okay, perfect example. Let me zoom in. Here, let me save again, just to, in case I crash anything. So, like, this, right here, they kind of look similar. Of course, you can tell the gray and the white and things like that. But then whenever you just throw a little bit of brown over it, then these start looking like gray, black, you know, kind of offshoot gray, whiter. But there's not a huge difference in the value from what it looks like. But then just the moment you add color, it adds a... And like especially like down right here. you know, turn it off. You can't even tell. That's a different thing. But then whenever you have color, you have that added layer of depth that kind of makes it kick. But that's why we're waiting till the very end. We want to make sure everything else is on point with our painting before we like come in, color it all, get really giddy and excited. I mean, it's exciting how it's coming along, in my opinion. Like, I like the top corner. This side, I kind of didn't give a lot of love, but that's fine. Having a good focal point, you know, the character is going to be a focal point. Then this kind of area, like right here, could be kind of the money area. Which, in my opinion, that's kind of where it is anyway. Like, when I first look at this picture, for some reason, let me get like a big red. My eye, for some reason, just wants to live like right here. Like, that's where my eye goes for some reason. Just this little area. You know, and that's kind of what and you can tell because that's what I really focused on here too. You know, is like this whole, that area right there. Hey man, it is what it is. But yeah, this will be kind of a multi stream project. And you see like the little, those right there. I'm just happy with how some of these paint strokes have turned out. Like, I can see it now on stream. It doesn't pick up quite as well, but like whenever we end up publishing the picture, and like you guys can actually download it and put it as a wallpaper and stuff, like that's when you'll be able to go in and see those details. Yeah, let's save that. Let's come back over here. But that's it for today. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out. You know, we're doing okay. We're doing okay on the art thing. We got a lot of like struggles to go through, I can already tell, but it is what it is. You guys are the best for hanging out, watching old Kami turn into a madman live on camera when it comes to digital art and stuff. But yeah, if you guys have just general questions about art, let me know. Like I said, it's been over a decade since I went to art school, and I've been out of it for a long, long time. But there's a lot of kind of the basics that I still understand. I need to practice them, like perspective and volume and, you know, lighting and mood, things like that. But the cool thing about that is once you know your fundamentals, once you can make a box in 3D space, and once you can make a circle in 3D space, you can kind of make anything in the world. Because everything is a modification of a cylinder or a rectangle. Everything. Look around you in the world. Nothing is different than a circle, a sphere, a sphere, a rectangle, like a prism, a cylinder. That's about it. Like, everything's a modified version of that, you know. So if you can make those shapes, you can kind of make anything. It doesn't matter if it's a bug or a person or a cup or a desk or a dragon. It doesn't matter. You know, you just break it up into those tiny little parts. You render those out, and then you got a thing. Some Cinema 4D. Oh my god, if I had Cinema 4D. I need to get like a license for it. Because the thing is, that would be really helpful. If I had a 3D program, I could composition something in like Blender, Cinema 4D, Google SketchUp even. Bring it into Photoshop, use that as my camera, and paint. Like, just put stuff in it and paint stuff on it, and never had a license for my... See, I need to find a good hookup. Get me a copy of Cinema 4D, because I've always been interested. I even tried to dabble in like DAZ 3D, where they come with in like Poser. They come with those pre-rendered models, which look really creepy. They look really creepy. But they're okay for getting a sense of like a person in a pose in a certain landscape. Like, that makes sense, you know. But if you want it was cracked, and don't think that's the same. So like if you guys want to see kind of what my goal is, and then you guys are going to burst out laughing because there's no way we're ever going to get there. But if you want to see the type of stuff I would love to make, and like, oh my god, would I love to make this stuff. And some of it's even just some basic landscape stuff. I say basic landscape. But Feng Zhu is ridiculous. The dude is a man possessed. He does these paintings, by the way. He does the initial like sketch style stuff of these in about 30 minutes. And I can tell you that because he does them as live streams and on YouTube. The guy is unfreaking real. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way a human being can do this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? In like no time flat, but he does. I don't know how he does it, but he teaches. He teaches in China. And all of his students that go there, even after like a week, you know, even after a freaking week, these kids are making strides in their artwork. You know, they start off and they're doing okay, but then he'll do this type of stuff 30 minutes. Like, what? That is not even like a real thing. Like, how can that happen? But yeah, his name's Feng Zhu, Fengzhu. Look him up. The guy's a monster. He's on YouTube. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, actually, because he does what's called design cinema. And because he's a designer, he's a concept. He's worked on Star Wars, on like Guild Wars. He's worked on all these. He worked on the new Assassin's Creed. So he's one of the main artists for them. And he's just a freelance guy. And he just does that stuff. And then he teaches people on the side. I was like, if I had $40,000, I'd go to his school in a heartbeat. Because he would break me out all these habits. But yeah. Let's see. Just craziness, man. Feng Zhu. Look him up. Super good. That's my time, guys. That's it. It's past midnight. I gotta go to bed. It's time for work in the morning. Oh no. So we're gonna have quite a few. For the upcoming week, we're gonna have quite a few streams. And I'm trying to think of what we're going to play. Because we got a few new games as part of like Humble Bundle. That I think one of them in particular people would be interested in me playing. But then also I kind of want to do some World of Warcraft, do some Heroes of the Storm, play some more Magic or Hearthstone, card game stuff. But let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Tell me what you want to see. We got the art stuff as well. So a little bit of everything. But yeah, whatever you guys think. Because I'm in the mood for kind of everything. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know for sure what you want to see. And I would definitely be hosting a lot of you guys. If you guys go and start streaming sometime this week, I'll be at work. So I will host you until I go live. But you know the drill, guys. Go hang out. Go be merry. Go play awesome games. Go learn art. Art's fun. It's frustrating and fun at the same time, but that's what's fulfilling about it. Kind of get better. Yeah, I might do a poll on that. And by the way, let me kick back over to this real quick. That way I can actually show you, because I realized I wasn't even on the right screen whenever I was showing the Feng Zhu art. So yeah, this is the type of stuff he kicks out in like 30 minutes. Oh yeah, these are term 2 finals. No, so these are his students are knocking this type of stuff out. So these are the people he's teaching. And these are like their finals. So at his school that he teaches at. Like, this stuff is nuts, man. This is redonk. And like all of his graduates get crazy good jobs in you know? But like, this is... This is his stuff. Like... And mixing surroundings, he does like these... just talks. Like, look at this. Oh my god. What? Like, look at this. This is just him doing what we did. Just digital painting. Yeah, and this is for the... Oh, this is his repurpose of Dune. So yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll pick a video game, he'll pick something like that, and he'll be like, yeah, let's go do a quick painting of it. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? And the answer is yes, he's crazy. He's a demon. I'm convinced. It's like... What? Yeah. He just does this stuff. And he's on YouTube, man. Like, seriously, let me look up his YouTube real quick. But he's one of the best in the world. Like, that's... Yeah, you can see all my design cinema stuff. Like, I'm watching all of his stuff right now. So it's Fangzhou Design School. FZD School. Like, if you want to have some chill out stuff in the background, like, look at this. He'll just be talking and painting and talking about here's what we do and here's what we're working on, and he's just doing this type of stuff live, man. He does like live storyboardings. Just crazy. I watch this guy. I have him on in the background at work all the time. Just because of how good he is. But yeah, he's super inspiring and also like very frustrating. Because it's like, I'll never get that good. But if I got half that good, I'd be pretty good. But yeah, I'll make a poll. Let me know what you guys want to see. You know, if we want to do more art streams, if we don't do more game streams, retro stuff, whatever. I'll set up that poll. We'll get it going. We'll keep the poll up for about 24 hours. Give everyone time to vote for it. But yeah, that's it, gang. For me, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. We'll probably be streaming maybe tomorrow. Maybe. I think Halloween night we're going to be out and about doing stuff. Wednesday's the podcast. Thursday, we'll do something. We'll think of something. Just hit me up on Twitter. We'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, peace.
a question. If you'd hear me out in your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far.